Hi, this is Angela G. from No Longer Lukewarm for Red Hot Christians and Wannabes. These videos are for people who like to listen while they're maybe doing something else. If you'd prefer to read my blogs, you can find the link in the description box below. So this one is called Suicide, a Teen, and a Priest on a Plane. Suicide is a rough topic. When it happens, it's horrific. But even more often than people do it, they think about it. Some just toy with the idea, and some go as far as planning it out. Some really believe they want to die. Others just want people to pay attention to them long enough to make them want to live. When I was a teenager, the thought occurred to me more than once. When I confided in a stranger on a plane, he spoke the words that I have kept with me all those years. It's a testimony and a message of hope for anyone struggling with the idea of suicide today. My situation as a teen. From the time I was 12, I lived in Texas with my dad and stepmom. Every summer and Christmas break, I would fly to Minnesota to spend time with my mom and stepdad and brother and sister. It was on one of those trips when I was about 16 that I found myself seated next to a priest. Well, he might have been a priest. He could have been a minister or a pastor. I just remember he wore a collar. Given the nearly 3-hour flight, we started talking, and for some reason I opened up. I told him that I had recurring thoughts of suicide. I was an emotional kid who loved to write. For hours, I would sit in my bedroom and read or write poetry. Some of my poetry was pretty sad and dark. I was a believer, but I hadn't given my whole life to Jesus yet, so I think that's the way I processed my world. Anyways, those sad thoughts were rolling around in my head and spilling out onto the page. The background music was 80s hair band ballads. If you're not familiar with the genre, they're basically slow songs done by heavy metal artists. Poison, Skid Row, Warrant, Tesla, songs of lost love and teen angst, sung to a soulful, heavy guitar riff with a pounding drum interlude. It was all very dramatic, so the thoughts came in. Words I won't forget. I don't know why I shared those thoughts with my airplane seatmate, though. I certainly would never have told my own priest at the Greek Orthodox church I attended at the time. Maybe it's the same reason people put personal information online today. There's that little bit of anonymity that makes it okay to share your deepest secrets with a willing ear, knowing that your family, your boss, and your friends in real life will never know. Anyway, after I finished talking, the man in the collar looked at me for a second and then hit me with the words I will never forget. You must be pretty important to God's plan for Satan to work so hard to get rid of you. Boom. Now, don't take those words the wrong way. I don't think I'm some big shot for God or anything, but the guy did have a point. Satan is a real adversary. He prowls about, seeking whom he may devour. He was putting thoughts in my head that would take me off the path God had set for me and into the pits where he himself is headed. The enemy wanted me dead because I mattered to God. Comfort for me and you. The words gave me comfort that I was important and hope that had a future that was worth living for. To this day, I don't really know if the guy on the plane was actually an angel, a good man of God, or just a guy who wanted me to shut up so he could sleep. What I do know, however, is that the message has stuck with me all these years. It's something I held in my heart any time that the enemy tried those deadly whispers, and it's something that I now say to anyone who brings up the topic of suicide within my hearing today. If you, or someone you know, is experiencing thoughts about suicide, you too are a target of the enemy, and you too are important to God and his plan. Satan has tipped his hand, and now you see all of his cards. He doesn't win. He can't win. So fight, knowing that Jesus has the victory, and rest, knowing that you are loved.